Okay, so today we're going to be looking at surface area. We started talking about surface area yesterday, about prisms and cylinders. Now we're going to talk about pyramids, cones, and spheres. Now, pyramid, you have only one base, right? On prisms, yesterday we had two bases, and the rest were rectangles. Now, for pyramids, you only have one base and then a bunch of triangles. So let me take a look at the base. I'm going to say number 5, the base is this triangle. So I'm looking for a shape that is not a triangle. If all the sides are triangles, I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you by to identify the base by giving you the measurements of each side of the base. If you notice, each side is 8. There's measurements pointing at 8 for each of these sides. So I'm going to look at right now at just the base. I know I have to look for a 90-degree angle, which you guys have it in here. It's made by 8 and 6.9. So for the base, I have to go 8 times 6.9 divided by 2. That's how I'm going to get the area of the base. According to my calculator, happens to be 27.6. So let me just worry about the base. Now for pyramids, every side on the base is going to have a triangle. Now, because this thing has 3 sides, I'm going to have 3 triangles. Let me point them up over here. Those are my 3 triangles. And these triangles, for the area of each, because each side of my base is the same, all my triangles are going to be the same. And for these triangles, the 90-degree angle is made by 8 and 9.3. You guys see the 90-degree angle there. For the base, I'm going to go 8 times 9.3 divided by 2. According to my calculator, that's 37.2. So each of my triangles is 37.2. Now, when we're talking about pyramids, there is one base and a bunch of triangles. The amount of triangles is equal to the amount of sides of the base. All right, so like I said, I add everything. According to my calculator, I have 139.2. That's the area of the whole thing combined. All right, let's take a look at question number 6. I'm looking for a shape that is not a triangle. You guys can see it here, and that's the base. In this case, is a rectangle, a squared, right? A squared is a rectangle. It's just it has all the sides are equal. And I know in this case is a 3x3 rectangle or 3x3 squared. So I'm going to say the area is 9. Now the base has 4 sides, so I'm going to have 4 triangles. For one of my triangles, I'm going to go 3 times 4.3. I'm looking at my 90-degree angle. It's made by 3 and 4.3. So I'm going to go 3 times 4.3 divided by 2. Remember, for triangles, we divide this by 2. So 3 times 4.3 divided by 2. And I'm going to say this one triangle is 6.45. Interesting is that all the sides are equal. So all my triangles are 6.45. All right, so add everything. And I happen to get 34.8. My measurement here is yard squared, right? Because I'm dealing with yards. Area, it's always squared. All right, Let's take a look at a couple more. Now, cones, if I was to make this flat, I see that there's going to be a circle. Let's assume that's a circle. And then the side, if I was to cut it and make it flat, it's going to look like not quite half of a circle, but something like this. Okay, I need the radius. I need to know the radius. And I see the 20, that's my diameter. Radius, remember, it's only half of it from the center out. So I'm going to say my radius is 10. You guys see the whole diameter is 20. Sometimes I might give you the radius. Sometimes I might give you the diameter. So I'm going to say my radius is 10. So that means the area of the circle is going to be 100 pi. So remember, I go radius times pi. So radius times radius gave me 100. Now, for the side at the bottom, using sector area, we come up with a formula, but I'm just going to say I'm going to go with the radius, which is 10. I'm going to multiply by this thing that we call lateral height, 22.4. Radius times lateral height. So let me get this, 10 times 22.4, right? Radius times lateral height times pi. So I'm going to have that the area of this shape is going to be 224 times pi. Because I don't want to deal with that much of a decimal right now. So I'm leaving pi as a pi. I just went radius. Let me just go radius times lateral height. I'm going to use L for lateral height. It's not the height of the cone because the height of the cone will be here in the center. Here is the height. This is lateral height. So radius times lateral height times pi. Okay, if I add the two areas, 100 plus 224, I'm gonna get 324 pi. If I'm supposed to leave this as in terms of pi, well, that's it. 324 times pi. Now, if I'm supposed to type all as a decimal, so terms of pi is 324 pi. All multiply as a decimal, rounded to one decimal place. I'm going to go 324 times pi. Remember, you type in pi for pi. My answer will be 1017.9. Let me see the instructions. So just round it to the nearest tenth. Okay. Now the surface area of a sphere. Now this is interesting, right? You guys can try this at home. You guys can grab an orange, right? An orange is about a sphere. Just don't get the cuties because they're flat on the top and at the bottom. So get a sphere. So try to get an orange. And based on the orange, you guys can draw circles right around it. Let's say I had a piece of paper. Usually, depending on your orange, you're gonna fill about 6 circles. You can do 6 circles on the paper. And then that surface area, basically the area on the outside, start peeling the orange. Like say you guys can try this at home. You guys are peeling the orange and see how many circles you can fill. So you're gonna take a little piece of your peeled and you're gonna find out, like say you guys can try this at home, try to fill as many circles as you can. And you should find out that you're gonna fill out 4 circles. It happens. You're gonna fill out 4 circles. Again, if you don't believe me, try this at home. Right? Draw circles using your orange. Peel the orange, try to fill the circles, and you're gonna see that you're gonna fill out 4 circles. I know the area of a circle. The area of a circle is radius times pi. Right? Some people call it radius square pi. That is one circle, but because there's 4 circles, let me multiply this by 4. So it's going to be 4 times radius times radius times pi. That's going to be the surface area of a sphere. So I'm going to go 4 times 9.3 times 9.3, and let me leave this pi there for right now. Okay, the 4, again, because you fill out 4 circles. If you don't believe me, again, try it at home. So I'm gonna go, for right now, let me go 4 times 9.3 times 9.3, and I get 345.96 pi. Like I said, I'm trying to leave pi as a pi. I don't want to deal with big decimals. So if I'm asked to leave this in terms of pi, I will round this to 346 pi, because I rounded to 1 decimal place, but the 9 was to the top. So if I have to leave it as a pi, it's 346 pi. Now, if I have to multiply this by pi, I'm gonna go from here, 345.96 times pi, and I'm gonna get 1,086.9. I rounded to 1 decimal place. So if I'm asking you to leave it in terms of pi, or you have to give me the decimal, there you go. Let me zoom out so you guys can see what we did today.